And this is extremely strange when people start talking about politics, right? They start talking about, oh, well, do you think that such and such likes you? It's like, who cares? On the left, generally speaking, I agree that the left uses race as a way to wield and capture and retain power. I agree with that. And I mentioned that in the piece, right? So particularly white liberals, they're just using the whole N-word controversy as a pretext, right? Because if they were really serious about this, they would cancel Jimmy Fallon, they would cancel Jimmy Kimmel, who used to do a blackface skit of Karl Malone on The Man Show for years. They would cancel a bunch of people on the left, even Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, who, went like literal blackface, like shoe polish blackface in multiple pictures. But I do think that there is something larger at play here that goes down to the very essence of how a lot of black folk, not just the ones in media and academia, but how a lot of black people see themselves or see ourselves. And I've said this before in the show early on. I would compare it to, for them, I would use a sort of a solar system analogy, right? They are the earth and they relate to white people as if they are the sun. As if white folks are their source of light and heat, and they have no way of conceiving life outside of them. So that is why every time a white person says something that they find even the least bit demeaning, they go into, apoplectic shock. And it's one of those things. Jason, I don't know if you remember this, a couple years ago when I think it was the younger Bosa brother, Nick Bosa, came into the league. And people were unearthing these tweets about how he didn't like Beyonce and he didn't like the movie Black Panther. Insignificant stuff. But it's one of those things where whenever they hear that, there's something in them that's activated that says, we can never be whole unless white people tell us that we are. Because they are the ones that created race. They are the ones that created racism. And we don't know any way of seeing ourselves outside of race. So until we feel that they fully see us as human, we can never see ourselves that way.
Again, there's no faith in themselves or us. It's just, it's like, I go back, I forget, I know there was Massa Reynolds in Roots, and then there was some other prominent Massa, and it's just like they debating which Massa they're gonna give their allegiance to and help hold on to power. And it's just like, well, Massa Reynolds, man, he lets Fiddler play music we like, and they got the best weed, and they like Hennessy too, so I'm going with them. And the whole thought of taking care of yourself, working, trusting other black people, doesn't cross their mind.
Yeah, you hit on something else that I would like to touch on, which is the whole notion of being liked. And this is extremely strange when people start talking about politics, right? They start talking about, oh, well, do you think that such and such likes you? It's like, who cares? You don't elect people to represent you in state office or in federal office because you think they like you. You elect them because you believe that this person will do their job and serve your interests. But that's what I'm saying. A big part of this is how we as black people see ourselves. And that's why that constant desire to be liked and affirmed is so dangerous, because people who are chess players know how to turn that, right, that hole that hasn't been filled, they know how to use that to their advantage. I'll use a different example, Jason. If you meet a young lady and you get her a cup of coffee and she's like, oh my gosh, Jason, that's the sweetest thing any guy's ever done for me. Oh my gosh. You know immediately that this woman has never been loved by anybody in her entire life. And you know that even if you do not intend to treat her this way, a real hunter will come along and he'll say, oh boy, this is easy. Talk about a zebra with a hobbled leg. This is easy, like shooting fish in a barrel. That's how the white liberals treat black folks.